Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius April 17, 2022. Today's energies favor quiet activities and projects that focus on building and developing. There can be quite a fair amount of weighing pros and cons, negotiations, and discussions. However, as much as you might enjoy the mental exercise, be aware that it's hard to know what's in your heart today, possibly leading to misunderstandings. Generally, with Venus in your solar 10th house these days, you come across well, particularly with bosses, elders, and the like. Today, Venus encounters a minor challenge, pointing to some indecision or hesitation. While you may wrestle with mixed feelings, it's likely more satisfying to work towards a tangible goal than to give in to whims and cravings. This is a day for pursuing pleasure and making sure that you get a break from whatever work you have been caught up in to be with people and socialize. It is important to get out, especially with those who are important to you, if possible. You may have left them out of things recently. So today, be with them wholeheartedly and share yourself. Give the best of yourself, and you will get the best in return. Consider a different lens. As a quirky air sign, you tend to be quite handy with seeing something from a different perspective. However, with the moon in mutable Libra and square to your sign, you could struggle with self-criticism. Luna can be highly critical, especially if certain conversations, correspondences, and other communicative work is falling short of your expectations. But the lunar energy can also remind you to be steady and flexible and mold to your professional situation as needed so that you can remain on task. Go about work like a Libra today. While the pace and urgency are dialing back on the financial front, and it is not only next month that you will see the first planetary activity for the year on the income side of the financial fence, there is every reason for confidence. This is something that the moon is helping to amplify today, with your intuition, instincts, and imagination geared towards the positive. Whether a pleasant family get-together is on the cards or a celebration with friends today is perfect for socializing. Just as you enjoy the company of others, they like being with you too. Friends and family know exactly how much you mean to them and value your company. Be yourself today, because they accept you just as you are, loving you and trusting in you. Money and gadgets and just general purpose stuff are heavy on your mind right now, and you might just have a golden opportunity to turn your time into more gold. Looking for the right person for a long time, you may not have found the ideal partner yet, but the likelihood of meeting them is promising and too good for you to miss. Give yourself a push and summon all your seductive sex appeal. Be prepared for the next opportunity you get to win over that special someone. Feeling a little blocked lately, emotionally or physically? This might have something to do with a tense period you're going through, where things tend to get a little bottlenecked. Keep all channels open with plenty of water and fresh vegetables and at least a few virtual yoga classes or whatever exercise releases your tension the best. Try to do this whenever you are subjected to a lot of stress, rather than putting it off until afterwards. You will be much happier. You'll find working within a structure far easier on this day. It can be quite easy for your personality to resist anything routine or scheduled, as it contradicts your love of freewheeling. Yet, at times it can work to your benefit to go about things in a more methodical way if you need to be especially productive. Try to set the structure for yourself, and then work within it. This should prove more comfortable for you by far. Just in time for the weekend and to capture Mars' final hours in an adventurous part of your chart, the moon returns to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part. In ordinary times, as Mars leaves and joins an already formidable lineup of planets in your career sector, these playful, creative and romantically charged lunar vibes would be outnumbered. However, returning as a full moon, the gloves have come off when it comes to a life that is all work and no play. In a case of perfect timing, the moon returns to your romantic sector during Mars' final hours in an adventurous part of your chart. This is too late for them to connect directly, but as the moon returns to begin the build-up to a romantically charged full moon, this is a reminder of a mix of romance, passion and adventure that Venus and Mars spent much of the last 6 weeks fueling. Our eyes in the sky. Your creative side needs some kind of organization, but the passion is still burning in your soul, especially as the waning gibbous moon trots through earthy Libra. There's a dynamic pull between structure and ambition as a continuing presence with a square between the moon in Libra and Saturn in Aquarius. Also, the moon's alignment with Uranus, also in Libra, will shake things up. There is a conviction in the collective that can go either way. Pay close attention to the news you receive over the next few days, and don't give up on your dream. With plenty of raw and real conversations going on, you might just come to a conclusion that you've needed to see and understand for many years. Never compromise your interests for the needs of others. This moon affirms the necessity of embodying our inimitable individuality. Libra new moon, we have been looking for ways to achieve both personal and relational balance through compromise and diplomacy. Yet, through this process, we have discovered which of our relationships operate under the illusion of giving and take while exploiting our vulnerabilities. Today, volatile events penetrate superficial dynamics and force us to see things for what they are. The moon opposes Mars and also forms a tense T-square with Pluto in Capricorn, unearthing buried resentments and hostilities. Exposed secrets or impulsive demands could spell the end of toxic or stressful relationships, those which have survived under the assumption that we will not speak our mind or make a scene. While these events might be distressing or disappointing, asserting ourselves is long overdue. Certainly, this full moon will not spell doom for romances and friendships on a healthy footing, but it marks an occasion where we acknowledge that we deserve better, and we don't need others to dictate what better should look like for us. The moon enters a short void following this transit, and as is typical during full moons, we should allow time for processing and integration without making grandiose statements or decisions now. Although fights may occur, avoid statements of finality. The moon in Libra, dissipating tensions brought to a climax during the full moon, but also finding us resorting to stubbornness and emotional rigidity. Over the next 2 days, our impulse will be to slow down and ground ourselves, which is good medicine for those with minimal natal placements in earth signs, but may feel sluggish to those who have the energy to burn. We take pleasure in material comforts, making this an ideal occasion for art projects, gardening, or maintenance work which will benefit from patience and a steady hand. If you're under work or other pressure and unable to socialize, you could experience some mood swings. Just try not to behave in a way you might come to regret later. However, Mercury in opposition scrambles our ability to express ourselves. We forget the minutiae, and our interactions become laden with misunderstandings. Frustration is the result of this cosmic clash, so give the time-sensitive deeds on your to-do list a bit of extra padding and prepare for 1 or 2 awkward conversations.